Welcome to my daily review. Today is Tuesday, February 18th, and we can see the Nasdaq was up 14 and a half points or 0 point double. That's 007, right? 007 was a James Bond kind of a sneaky type of day with 10% above the average daily volume, but it wasn't a routine, essentially a flat day. It started up higher. We had a 3-day weekend due to President's Day in the China market. The Hang Seng was rallying on Monday and Tuesday before the U.S. markets open. And after 3 days, you can see what happened the prior 3 days here. Um, well, at least on Thursday, maybe I can go to a 10-minute chart here. And you can see the 12th, 13th, and 14th, we had nice rallies last week. There's the 12th, there's the 13th, there's the 14th. And so we come in after a 3-day rally and people are all bulled up, they've been doing their chart work and everything. And the market opens higher and then sells off. It was the old okey doke once again. The 3-day weekend morning gapper right here, 2000, excuse me, 20,000 and 110 was the high this morning. Then immediately, woo, just sold off. Sorry, got the rug pulled. There's a trap door. But the last couple of minutes kind of saved us here. The last 5 minutes, essentially 10 minutes, where the index went from a negative to positive and a nice high volume close here for the index. So that's always positive to see. It's how it closes more important than how it opens. And it gives a little a view into institutional support. Like I said, the high today was 20,110, which was trying to attack that 20,118 from January 24th. Needs to take that out, then eventually the 20,000, 2004. And we've had a nice strong last last week was the strongest week for the Nasdaq this year. It was up 2.58%. I believe that was the strongest. Yeah, we had 2.4% in January, but yeah, last week was the best week of the year. And so, it's trending higher. It's doing a little better, not quite as choppy, but you still have to be in the right stocks. And I'm going to get to that here in a minute. The SPY. Now, the Nasdaq was not making new highs. You know what? I'm going to go to the S&P 500 instead of the SPY. Once again, this was up today 0.24%, so a little more than the Nasdaq. 15 points on 8% above the average 50-day volume. It closed at 6,129. The old high was 6,128. So we have a closing high here, right? And it closed right at its high. You could see the high is 6,129 and the close is 6,129. So the S&P 500 closing right at its high for the session. That is bullish, folks. Anyway, I'm going to move on. I'm going to go get away from these indexes. I want to talk about some of the earnings reports that came in this morning. WGSGN, or excuse me, GENDX, Gene DX Holdings. Reported a strong quarter. I guess it was up 47% today. Nice gap out of this base. This definitely goes on our gapper list. Massive volume here, nearly 500% above the average volume. What we have here is a stock, a drug stock that's, got about 300,000 in sales and it's got a 3 billion market cap. So it's trading about 10 times sales. Yeah, kind of rich, but yeah, it is kind of rich. I've seen worse, but it's all about, it only has 12 million shares and it's float. So it's about supply and demand. And anyway, just wanted to point that out. Nice move for WGS. If you own that one, congrats. VMI is another one that reported. Valamont, nice gap out of a base here, 17.5% move with volume. So that goes on our gapper list as well. That's WGS if you're writing this down, and VMI. But I will go over and make another video. It's been a couple of weeks. The some of the top gap stocks that we've had during earnings season, that they're not all the same. Okay, on the flip side, we had Medtronics pretty strong report and it just fell out. I mean, the chart looks pretty good here. We got a nice cup with handle pattern. You got the pullback within the handle. It looks pretty good. Little strength coming into the print. And stocks that are near their highs when they report. I don't know. It was a pretty good report. Uh, didn't warrant a 7% sell-off, but that's what we got. Baidu reported, I believe it was last night. I was watching the China market, and man, the China market has been strong, but Baidu sold off here in the U.S. market. 7.5% move. AXSM, this is definitely a takeout target now. They reported this morning down 2% and change. FLR, oh man, I hope there's a floor on floor because this thing just is in a tailspin going down, 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 and it needs a little bit of a floor here to find some support. It was down another 8.5% today following its earnings report. ConAgra thought with a food stock it would do well, but nope, not so much for ConAgra. VMC, this is a material, the Vulcan Material Company. Not much of a move, nearly 1% higher after they reported earnings. The home builders, you got to stay away from them. These things are radioactive. TPH, doesn't matter what they say or report, these things are being sold. Higher rates, labor issues. There's just a lot of problems with the home builders. We get housing starts tomorrow. Yeah, I don't think the data is going to be in its favor for a while. So, yeah, you just got to stay away from those. A recent IPO, Waystar reported, gave you the old okey doke at the open. Looked like it was going to ramp higher. What was it, 10 minutes in? It was at 48. And not too much longer is at 43. And that's a tough pill to take. Nice 15% haircut. And then ETR is oil and gas stock that, excuse me, utility electric power stock, gapping higher, nearly 6% with volume. So that's a nice move after they reported earnings. All right, I want to get to some of the BS news of the day. Broadcom and Taiwan Semiconductor, they're not going to have anything to do with Intel, but there's a rumor out today that they are going to buy some Intel. And remember, there was a rumor not long ago where Qualcomm was going to buy Intel. I think Intel PR firms starting these rumors or something because Qualcomm came out and said, "Nah, we're not interested in that." I don't know if Broadcom came out and said anything today, but Taiwan Semi needs approval from China, and that's not going to happen. So this deal is, just a bunch of BS, and you get that sometimes in the market. Intel's trying to pump its stock up. Micron had news today. I forget what the news was, but it traded up to its 200. So we'll see if it can power through there or if it gets rejected, Matombo style. SMCI also at the 200 and rallied above it into the close today. And I was thinking of putting a trade on SMCI today, but I didn't. I just, I don't know. I don't like going back to the well too often here. Had one of my big winners from last year, and yeah, down 48. You could say that would be the buy point, and it drove through its 200. So, yeah, okay. Congrats if you own SMCI Supermicro. Rambus here breaking out today, blasting off its 10 EMA up nearly 9%. So a nice move for Rambus. That's it with your hardware names. I'm going to move over to the software names. I think this is kind of your strongest group right now since that DeepSeek news hit a couple weeks ago. The rotation has been over to the software names, and I'm switching the moving average to the 5 because in an uptrending market like we're in a strong market, stronger stocks will find support at their 5 and not their 8 or their 10. And you're seeing this here with Palantir up 4.5% today. I know everybody says it's overvalued and whatever. I mean, it's just going higher. Okay, it was probably overvalued at 40 or 80, but now it's overvalued at 124. So, you're not going to make money in the market if you don't buy a stock because it's overvalued. That one looks pretty good. IoT is another one that recently just broke out and now trading higher, and it's well above its 5 here, 5% above its 5 EMA. Strong move for Samsara today. These yeah, these software names are doing pretty well. Rubric, let me see. Got to get here. Rubric. Oh yeah, this is it was down today, but it finished higher. Very good. Just got this little, 75, 79. As long as it stays above that and holds and closes above that level, I think it has a chance to trade higher. The more recent IPOs, though, have been getting whacked lately. If you've seen Reddit and A-Lab, and I just showed you Waystar. So, be careful out there. And of course, GEV got whacked, yeah, on that whack day. So, yeah, some of these more recent IPOs have been getting hammered, so be careful with those. All right. More like the 2020, 2021 stocks are doing better. Now, all right, I showed you Rubrik. Shopify, I was going to put this on the ready list today if it came back to like the 125 area, because I think it could be bought on a pullback. And what it did today is it did pull back to, well, I have it on the 5 EMA now. But I think it pulled back to the 10. Found support close well above the 5 EMA today, 2.5% above the 5 EMA. But, I want to get it closer to that 120, 72 buy point. If it pulls back, anywhere near that area. This is one of my stocks of the week, if you would say. I really like this stock. It's a software name. Software is strong. They've reported earnings. They got some of the wiggles and the wobbles out following its earnings report last week, as you can see here. Let me go to a 10-minute chart. You can see how much it wiggled around, trying to shake people out last week and then stabilized. And now it's just kind of, grinding higher. So, yeah, I kind of like this stock. Gosh, closed at a 99%. That's a nice hammer candle. For shop, 129.38 was the high, closed at 129.31. So made a new high. I own the stock. I didn't even check that out today. Anyway, good for shop. Looks pretty good. Snow, this is one that I have on my ready list. Um, Bounced off the 5 today, very strong stock. And I know people are worried about earnings. Earnings aren't till the 26th. I mean, that's an eternity. You can easily buy for a quick trade and sell before next week's earnings report. So I wouldn't let that bother me. I think it was upgraded today, up nearly 3%. App Lovin giving some back today. Not much though. The stock is very strong. I think people are stubborn to part ways with it, and I'm thinking that below 500, it's going to be. I don't know how much longer you're going to be able to buy it below 500. How about that? You can see that 5 EMA is at 460 right now. So and it's moving fast. So we just take a look at the last 3 sessions. It's gone from 409 to 442, and today 460. So in 3 sessions, it's gone up 50 points. So it's not going to be too long. Even if it goes sideways, that 5 EMA, maybe look for a pullback and a bounce here in the next couple sessions. But obviously, you can see by the big blue volume bars that this is another software name that institutions like. DigitalOcean made a new high today. It's got this double bottom base, had this nice shakeout, and then ran higher. And it once again bounced off that 5 EMA today. That was DigitalOcean. Take Two. I don't play video games. I'm a little old. I missed that generation. My video game was Pac-Man, like the yogurt shop or something. Um, but don't knock it. There was a lot of babes there. All right. I digress. This is take two. Gap higher following earnings just went sideways. And this is what I'm expecting App to do. Just kind of go sideways for a little bit. Let that 5 catch up and then boom, nice 4% move today for Take Two Interactive. I guess I don't know, they design games. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just it's part of my it's an age thing. I don't play video games. Anyway, I know I'm missing out. CrowdStrike broke out of this base here. We had it a couple times, man. I know a lot of people are in CrowdStrike that are at mcstockcharts.com. So we had this break above a downtrend line, then it had this standard pivot. I know standard pivots don't work, right? Had a shakeout, around below that 389 level. What day was that? After since the shakeout, it's been up like every day. I mean, this looks like Meta Platforms Yeah, the shakeout was below the 389 level. It came down to 384. And since the 384 level, just rip right up to 450. Now 455. So a nice $70 move if you like that kind of thing for CrowdStrike. And this is pretty easy hold here as it just surfs the five. Bounced off the five today. Not really bounced, just kind of surfing the five. All right. That's enough for Crouch. Oh, I want to mention Palo Alto Networks because this thing does this just like every time. It's almost like clockwork. They report a strong earnings quarter. The stock sells off. This time it pulled back to the 50. I mean, on Friday after earnings, this thing traded down to 188. Today closed with a hammer candle at 208. I mean, it's $40 in a day. I mean, come on. Jeez. If you buy the low and sell the high, I mean, but who's going to do that? I'm not going to do that. But it did just bounce off the 50. And this thing is a cash cow. I don't know how often I've pointed this out. Their cash flow, return on equity. I mean, this thing is a cash cow. And then cybersecurity going forward in the AI space is going to be, one of those essential products that companies have to have. So, Fortinet, CrowdStrike, Palo Alto Networks, all looking good. All right, I'm going to move on from the software names and go to the retail names because I like retail. And I went to Bros a couple times over the week, and my buddy Kevin says you got to try their kid shake. It's only like 300 calories. I said, man, every time I go to Bros, man, it just gets too wired. But anyway, the line was so long there, I just left. But that's a good thing if you're an investor. It's 8.9% above that 5 EMA, which is rising quickly because just a few days ago it was at 71, okay, and now it's at 78. So yeah, keep your eye on the five. That's what I would say. Even if it just goes sideways for a couple days, trading between 80 and 86, that's fine. Okay, that's Bros. Looks good. SE, this is one that we had on our ready list a while back. Nah, I didn't buy it. Somebody did. Somebody's buying this. This is the one you say, oh, it got away, right? Like the fish, you got it on the hook, you see it, but you don't hook it. And it gets away. Oh well. Those things happen. For me, I just move on, go to the next. I'm not going to cry over that I missed one. I'm more encouraged that I, had the aptitude to eyeball it, but doesn't do any good if you don't put some skin in the game. All right, this is CAVA Group. Just kind of forming this cup with handle pattern here. It's up 1.7% today. Lighter volume earnings next week. Lots of institutions own this one. I know a lot of people say, oh, it's really overvalued, but as long as the institutions are owning it, Lord Abbott's been reducing. Um, yeah, it's got a lot of yeah, the 533, it's got a lot of these IBD mutual fund index, the successful owners, the successful managers. So Kava is a favorite. It is expensive. They're going to have to, hit a grand slam next week for the stock to rally. All right. What else do I have? Oh, DoorDash. I like DoorDash. It's just getting a little extended here. Yeah, it was down a little bit today. I think it made a new high, 215, then pulled back. Still above the five. Just keep your eye on that five. See how it's just surfing the five. Thank you very much, DoorDash and Grab. I put in Grab today. It was up 8%. Kind of like breaking above this downtrend line. It's just similar to DoorDash um, in Malaysia, I believe. Was it Singapore? Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Grab. If you grab some Grab, you're up 8%, fine. This is not, to me, this is not something that I would want to hold longer term. That's just something to trade. Kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy too. This is a lot of traders are saying grab is awesome. I want to grab some grab, but anyway, that's really not my style. But Axon. Uh, breaking out of this cup with handle pattern, man, it doesn't get any better than that. That is pretty sweet. Nice symmetrical, sell off on the left side of the cup. Right side, you got some institutions nibbling. You get your shakeout. And then the last 2 days, Axon has made a nice move here today with volume, earnings next week. But on Friday, it was up 2.8%, and then today, nearly 4%, up to 710. So if you grab that, that was another one on our ready listed MC stock charts. One of the few stocks that I put on because I was a little hesitant to put on a lot of stocks and get over crazy coming off a 3-day weekend. Anyway, some more stocks will trickle onto the list as the week evolves. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh, the drug stocks. HIMS got downgraded this morning. I didn't really check up on it. Not bad. Down 3% on a downgrade. Not bad. Still well above its 5. So HIMS still looks pretty good. Novo Nordisk, what did they do today? Oh, they increased their dividend 20%. Yeah, nice 5% move, and it just keeps retesting and retesting. I thought 80 would be it, and it went below 80, 77, maybe 77 is the low. I'm not a good bottom picker. I like buying strength. I like buying what the institutions are buying, not what institutions are selling. That's just my style. I want to be on their side. They're too big for me. They'll beat me up. All right, CORT or Corcept Therapeutics. This one made a new high today and just pulled back to the 5. Another one of these strong drug stocks. I'm going to get out of the drug stocks here. I got to move on. Uh, the aviation stocks, aviation defense, Intuitive Machines. This one, nice bounce off its 5 today. You can see how fast the 5 moves on this stock. You can see it rallied up, then down, then up, and then today bounced slightly, 3%. I mean, that's a decent bounce. And then ACHR, think I was going to put this one on the ready list, but I didn't. It's got that 1060 buy point, and it's right there. So that could come tomorrow. This thing closed near the low of its session today. Yeah, it did. 12% of the daily range. Yeah, I thought I saw it higher earlier. Whoop, give you the old okey doke. So anyway, one to watch there. If you like that space, Rocket Lab is in this group. Yeah, just trading kind of sideways. Needs to tighten up here. Moving averages are converging. Looks okay. And then Howmet, this defense name, made a nice move today of 2.4%. GE is another stock that I like in the defense space, and you can see it's just surfing its 5 here. GE just quietly grinding higher. So I like GE a lot. Just, because you can't have all these fast stocks in your portfolio. I like these ones that, have this, 2% average true range, and you don't have to worry about it too much. Because I like to go out and golf and not watch my computer all day. And so with the stock like GE, you don't have to worry about stuff like that. All right. A couple other names just on the heat list. I would say today, this is a Carpenter. They had an investor day, I believe, and announced, raised guidance for, revenues and earnings, I believe. Nice move though, 9% move for Carpenter. So that's one to watch for tomorrow. Still has that 198 buy points. If it pulls back any, around that 200 level, that would interest me. And then the eyes have it. The eyes, INOD, this one, INO data, this one was up today, 8% with volume breaking out of that base, 56.17, the buy point, not bad there. That one looks pretty darn good. The other eye that had a good day today was ITRN. This is ITRN, location and control. I guess it's a security safety, kind of tracks stolen vehicle recovery. I guess there's a lot of that going on. Anyway, up 16%, nice move today. And then, of course, I mentioned earlier the eyes have it. Intel trying to break out of a base here. I have a problem with Intel, and this is why, because it hasn't gone anywhere in like 20 years. So pretty hard to get excited about that one. I know a lot of people who work there, and they've done well over time, right? Because they've collected the stock and they're in a good salary, but really hasn't gone anywhere. For a stock trader, this is not something that I'm interested in, but congrats. I mean, it's breaking out of a base due to the rumor that Broadcom and Taiwan Semi are not going to buy it. What a joke. Anyway, John Deere, heat. John Deere is heat. I never thought I would say that. This thing was over 500 today. Closed above 500 at 501. Wow, look at that. Nice 4% move with volume, man. John Deere, JD getting it done. I like that. All right. That reminds me, how's Caterpillar doing? I don't know. My friend Andy out in Kansas, not real bullish on these names here. He's in that business, so just trying to keep my ears and eyes on the prize. All right. Tonight, excuse me. That's it for me. Thank you for watching. Except for in honor of the great Steve Jobs, I have one more thing. And that is earnings tonight. Stocks that reported earnings tonight. This is Shift for Payments, FOUR. Now, I thought they would really blow it out because of the retail sales data in the Christmas season. Q4 was really strong. We were hearing from a lot of retail. They killed it. You know, they did fine. They beat earnings, but they came in light on revenues. But they bought a company, Global Blue, and anytime you acquire a company, the acquiring company usually gets hammered, and the one that's being acquired, this one's up, nearly 20%. So four might take a little bit of a hit tomorrow. I don't know, 9%. We'll see what happens. It had been surfing its five here since that breakout. We'll see what happens tomorrow. If it pulls back to that 21 there at 117, that would be an area of interest for me. I don't think it's going to get hit too hard on that data. We'll just have to wait and see. They're hosting an investor day today too. So, you never know what they're going to say. After their earnings presentation, they're having an investor day. So, I don't know. I wouldn't put too much credence in the 8% drop after hours. It could drop more tomorrow. Who knows? We don't know. Arista Networks, ANET, ANET, they reported a really strong quarter and not really being rewarded here. I thought it would do better. Serious beat and raise quarter, and it's sold off. And this is what I'm referring to of these broken charts. When they had that whack day. We're seeing a lot of these that got whacked. This is Arista Networks traded down to 97. Yeah, it rallied back through its 50 and then oops, traded below it. Now it's below it as they report earnings. It looks like tomorrow, more pain ahead, I don't know. All they can do is report a good quarter. We've seen a lot of this. So with say they're broken charts and they probably need some time to heal. Maybe we'll get a double bottom base out of this one you know, undercut the 97 level. Fine company, great report. Just that's just the way the market works sometimes. Who else reported? Oh, I wanted to point out that since four reported their quarter, the TOST, I think they're more into the restaurant um, sector than four is, and I think they're going to report a strong quarter tomorrow afternoon. I wouldn't, buy stock, but I might buy, some options or something, depending upon, the how expensive they are and what the spread is. But I wouldn't mind. You can limit your damage on you can just buy $1,000 worth of options and all you can lose is $1,000. That's what I like playing um, I like playing options for earnings report because you buy 100 shares and it goes down, 20 points, you lose 2,000, right? And so I don't want to do that. So anyway, that's just the way I play it. I want to limit my damage control. All right, Warren Buffett keeps buying this company. I think he's eventually going to own the whole damn thing. This is Occidental Petroleum. And I don't know. I don't know what he sees in this, but it's a one-way stock. It just keeps going lower. But I'm not gonna argue with Warren Buffett. I think his track record speaks for itself. Devon Energy up after hours, what, 25 cents? Oil and gas has been a real hit and miss sector. It's not completely terrible, but you really have to be in the right stocks. Speaking of terrible, Toll Brothers, you just cannot be in the housing market. I mentioned TPH earlier. Toll Brothers reported tonight, and I thought they would do well because they're more insulated. They build high-end homes, a lot of them in California for, $4 or $5 million homes. But they're hurting too. I mean, they're hurting for labor. I mean, the rates are higher, and you just can't own home stocks now. Yeah, DR Horton. To me, this is the one that I like the best in this group, and this one's just getting hammered. NVR is another one. Just, that's a lot of pain there. I can't take that kind of pain. So, Toll Brothers reported tonight, more pain ahead. I mean, what can you say? Down 5% after hours. All right, Halo reported tonight, and I didn't hear the report. I didn't see it. It's up slightly after hours. This is a biotech with, actual earnings. They're going to earn $5 in earnings this year, so it's not, fly by night. Matador, back to the oil patch. Landman, it's not moving at all. CDNS, I swear this thing sells off every time they report, and it's doing it again, down 5% after hours. So I didn't read the report there. That's a semiconductor, chip design stock. So if semiconductors are going to do well, you'd think these designers would do well, and they're not. Tomorrow, a Wix reports in the morning. Based on what we saw from GoDaddy, I'd be careful here. GoDaddy really selling off following that earnings report. Wix reports tomorrow. I've got no skin in that game. So just watching it though, it's right at its 50. Garmin reports tomorrow. I use Garmin for my range finder to get the yardage. I know that they make fish finders, all sorts of products, GPS systems. So Garmin reports in the morning. Interested to see what they have to say. The 2020 darling Etsy reports tomorrow. I don't expect much. We'll have to wait and see. I just got through saying that Q4 was great for retail. So yeah, they'll probably kill it and trade above the 6306. I shouldn't say I don't expect much. It's not a stock that I follow. All right, what else do I have here? Um, oh, I know the solar names. Solar names, dead in the water. SEDG, they report tomorrow morning. FVRR, Fiverr, um, retail internet stock. Yeah, set up in a base. We'll see what they have to say. Retail's been okay, hit and miss. Tech, the miners, again, hit and miss. This one has been a miss. We'll see what they have to say in the morning. And then Wingstop, please, please, please. You got to have a good fourth quarter with the college football playoffs, NFL playoffs. Q4 should have been strong for Wingstop. We're going to hear from them in the morning. And then GLBE, the last one today. Computer software name, surfing the 5, reports in the morning, pulled back slightly today. We'll see what they have to say in the morning. Anyway, at mcstockcharts.com, we never give up. Thank you for watching.